If you're working in the UK aesthetics industry, I'm sure you've heard the buzz of OFQUAL qualifications. Are they just a nice little extra for your CV, or are they about to become absolutely essential? Well, the answer is changing, and it's changing fast. So in this explainer, we're going to give you the straight-up truth and a clear roadmap to make sure your career is totally future-proof. We'll cut through all the confusion, CPD versus government-regulated qualifications, so you know exactly what you need. Let's dive in.
So let's start with the big one, the question that is causing so much confusion and, frankly, a bit of panic. Right here, right now, do you actually need an off-qual qualification to get insured? It's a simple question, but the answer, well, it's not quite so simple.
All right, let's cut to the chase. The short answer really depends on what treatments you're offering. For most of your standard beauty treatments, the answer is still a pretty clear no. But the moment you step into the world of higher risk aesthetics, that answer flips to an increasingly definite yes. The type of treatment you do is the absolute key here. So what does that actually mean for you today? Let's break down the rules for insurance and for licensing as they stand right now in 2025.
Okay, so for things like facials, brows, lashes, the standard stuff, your accredited CPD courses are still widely accepted by most insurers, and off-qual isn't mandatory. But, and this is the part you need to pay attention to, insurers are already starting to prefer them. Why? Because it just signals a higher, more formal and regulated level of training. It makes you a safer bet. Now, when we level up into non-medical aesthetics, we're talking microneedling, chemical peels, laser, IPL, this is where the picture really starts to change. Yeah, accredited CPD might still get you over the line with some insurers, but the trend is undeniable. They're increasingly requiring, or at the very least, strongly preferring level 3, 4, or 5 off-qual qualifications. And this is where the shift is really picking up steam.
And then you've got injectables, which are kind of in a league of their own. For non-prescribers, insurers are looking for a very specific pathway. You've got to have your anatomy and physiology, usually level 3 or 4, plus your foundational skin training. Now, technically, is an off-qual qualification required to get insured yet? No. But, and it's a big but, having those regulated level 4 plus units, it just helps enormously. It makes you a much lower risk, much more attractive candidate for them. So that's the whole insurance side of things. But what about licensing? This is the other huge piece of this puzzle. And to be honest, right now, it's a little bit of the Wild West out there. There is no single national system, which means the rules can literally change from one town to the next.
Because there's no national framework, it all comes down to your local council. And that, as you can imagine, creates some massive inconsistencies. I mean, take laser and IPL. In one borough, you might not need any specific license at all, but drive 10 minutes down the road, and the next council could demand you have a level 4 qualification to operate legally. It is a total postcode lottery.
But here's the thing. This confusing, fragmented postcode lottery system, well, it's not going to last. A huge change is coming. And believe me, it is going to completely shift the entire landscape of the aesthetics industry. And let me be perfectly clear, this is not a rumor. This isn't speculation, this is a direct confirmation from the UK government. A national aesthetics licensing scheme is on its way. This is all about raising standards, protecting the public, and professionalizing our industry. The days of inconsistency are numbered, and that is exactly why this conversation about qualifications is so incredibly urgent right now. So, with this new scheme on the horizon, what are you actually going to need? What will be the new gold standard to get that all-important license? Let's take a look. So based on all the draft framework discussions and consultations, it looks like the government is heading towards a tiered system based on risk. For treatments like microneedling, peels, and laser, you're likely going to need a level 4 qualification or higher. And for injectables, the bar is going to be set even higher, probably somewhere in the level 5 to 7 range. Now, does this make all your CPD courses useless? No, absolutely not. They're still going to be fantastic for your continuing professional development, for learning new skills. But here's the critical difference. To legally perform these higher risk treatments under the new scheme, that formal, regulated off-qual qualification will be the new legal baseline. It's non-negotiable. And don't think for a second that this is some far-off, distant future thing you can worry about later. The draft discussions are happening as we speak. We're expecting the full implementation to start rolling out between 2025 and 2026. This is happening, and it's happening soon. Okay, we've covered the what, the why, and the when. Now for the most important part of all. What should you be doing about it? Let's map out a clear, simple action plan so you can get ahead of the curve. So let's just boil this all down, shall we? Here's the bottom line. Right now, CPD is widely accepted for insurance, and OFQUAL is just preferred. But very, very soon, OFQUAL is going to be legally required for your license. It's about to become the new standard, the baseline for practicing any higher risk treatments. So what's the smartest strategy here? Honestly, it's a simple two-step approach. Step 1. Use your accredited CPD training to get started, get insured, and get that all-important hands-on experience under your belt. And step 2, at the same time, start working towards your OFQUAL qualifications. That is how you build a bridge from where you are now to where you need to be. It's how you future-proof your entire career. So, there you have it. The aesthetics industry is changing in a pretty fundamental way. It's moving towards higher standards, better regulation, and more safety for everyone. And really, the only question you need to ask yourself is this. Your industry is changing. Are your qualifications ready?